So the few and far between picks from the Saints, they get Cesar Ruiz, center guard out of Michigan. They get Zach Bond, the pass rusher out of Wisconsin. They get Adam Troutman, the tight end out of Dayton, and then a late round flyer on a quarterback. Sure. I mean, this is a team where it's like their roster has been in win now mode for like 5 years. And they're like, we got to just surround Drew Brees with talent. And it hasn't bitten them yet. These guys seem like they can be immediate contributors. Like using your top pick on an interior O lineman, it's like, sure, like you're a good enough team that you can win at the margins, get the best prospect at a less valuable position to slot in as a starter. Zach Bond seems like he could add some pass rush to their defense and like, yeah, just another weapon for Drew Brees in the tight end. So it's like with the small strikes that they had, they seemed like precision strikes that made a lot of sense.
They nailed it. They only had four picks and they just like did a really good job with all of them. It's honestly, it's sort of similar to the Ravens, where I'm just so frustrated and I'm like a little jealous of that fan base. I'm like, oh, to have competence consistently.
Yeah, right. Also, with recent addition Jameis Winston at the backup quarterback position, so could be a big year.
That is my only question, is why use one of your picks on a QB when you already have Taysom Hill and you're about to sign Jameis Winston?
Practice squad.
Yeah, but it's like
he's probably going to get cut kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, is there any chance you're carrying 4 QBs to your roster?
Maybe if he goes to the practice squad, maybe, right?
I guess. But then it's like, can't you just sign a random QB at the practice squad? Like, it just feels like if you have 4 picks, take a flyer on someone who's going to contribute,
Sure. I'm thinking like, if Drew Brees is about to retire, take as many low-risk shots at finding his replacement as you can. And if you think you have a winner in this guy, it's like, okay, you wasted a 7th round draft pick on him this year. We'll try again with a flyer next year kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Fair. I think 7th round draft picks don't matter. Who cares?
I agree, but I'm like, make it not matter in a direction that might impact your team.
Make it have a sliver of mattering.
Yeah, not like a definitely won't matter, because at worst there are 2 QBs ahead of him.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the Atlanta Falcons, AJ Terrell, who was drafted to Atlanta while in Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. That's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Marlon Davidson, another SEC prospect on the D line there. Matt Hennessy, center out of Temple, and then they got a linebacker, a safety, and a punter to round it all out. So I like what they did. Their defense was a problem last year. Used their top 2 picks on defense. Get good value in that sweet spot for offensive linemen. I think Matt Hennessy was like one of the guys I saw, like Matt Hennessy, Lloyd Cushenberry, and Justin Jackson, the guy the Lions took, were like sweet spot mid-rounders where you can get a contributor or a starter with like a 3rd round draft pick on the interior of the line. I think like those were all smart picks right there. So I like what they did there.
Yeah.
It seemed good.
Yeah, I'm so on it. I gotta be honest, I'm not a total AJ Terrell believer.
Sure.
I like he like has really high upside. He sort of is similar to CJ Henderson, where I'm like starting to talk myself into him, but I'm not fully a believer yet.
Yeah, sure.
It's like he had like technique questions, and it's like he's going to a division with Michael Thomas and Michael Evans. Like he's just Mike Evans. He's just gonna get he's gonna get torn up for a while, probably. Yeah. And it's like maybe that's what he needs. Like maybe I sort of, the way I wrote it down is I think this will be a good draft for 2021 and 2022. Like I think forward thinking, this will have been a successful draft. But I think that Dan Quinn will probably not be the one steering the ship when that happens.
Right, totally.
I don't think this roster is gonna turn around the season. I don't think they're doing better than 7 and 9. If they don't do better in 7 and 9, I'll have a hard time believing Dan Quinn is back again. And like I just don't think they can get there this year with Tampa Bay now having Tom Brady leading that competent team. Nothing in this draft turned it around that way. I think it was probably a good use of resources. Like I think Dimitroff probably used things effectively, but like my only thing with AJ Terrell is like I think he might be worse this year than like Jeff Gladney, and then like 3 years from now will be the superior player. You know, like
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a full believer in it. I think it was a fine draft, but not too many notes beyond.
But I'm also like, so I agree with you, but it's like a lot of the criticisms I have are like criticisms of the Falcons as an existing roster and not necessarily like how they used these picks.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at the board, I'm like, well, there's not like another corner that I wish they had taken there instead necessarily.
Right.
But who knows?
I think that's fair. I think I would have gone maybe Chase on.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe not though. I'm not a full Chase on believer, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you could have swapped those 2 picks, gone K'Lavon Chaisson at 16, and then like Christian Fulton at 47, and kind of been something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Bucs.
Yeah.
Tristan Wirfs, pick number 13. I don't like the getting maybe fooled by John Lynch thing, but I think other than that, it's like if you got to burn a 4th or 5th round pick in order to get the exact player that is the last great prospect at the position you are trying to get, sure, whatever.
Especially when it's like the difference between keeping 43-year-old Tom Brady upright or on the ground.
Right. Because it's like Tristan Wirfs is clearly worth a 1st and 4th round pick, whatever they traded.
Yeah.
I think it was their 4th round pick. Yeah.
I like Antoine Winfield Jr. a lot. I think that was a good pick. I don't love back to not thinking running backs matter. I don't love taking this running back in the 3rd round. I think you probably could have waited until the 5th or 6th and taken like that Eno kid out of Florida, or I think you probably could have waited.
I don't love going safety and running back. It's like your 2nd and 3rd round picks aren't going to make as big of an impact there. Like you could get better value. So it's like, this really is like, love the 1st pick, not crazy about the 2nd and 3rd. I do like a story about Keyshawn Vaughn though. He went to Illinois. He grew up next to the Vanderbilt Stadium, like in that town, and then went to Illinois. And then after his freshman year, transferred back to Vanderbilt.
Cool.
So I'm just like, he must have been so pumped to come back to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually do really like the Antoine Winfield pick. I think he's going to be a really good safety in the league. And like they were a good defense without him. But I just think they'll probably be better with him, you know? And I thought he was probably going to be a steal for someone. And I think he might be for them. And they just really, the only major weakness they had was O-line, and they addressed that immediately with Tristan Wirfs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carolina Panthers, Derek Brown at 7. Should they have gone Isaiah Simmons?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I'm a hard yes on that front.
I agree. You know, they get Yetur Gross-Matos round 2, some character concerns there, but like beefing up the D-line 1 and 2. Sure. I mean, they lost like Dontari Poe and Gerald McCoy.
Yeah.
So like that was a position of need. They went all defense, actually did not take a single offensive player, which kind of makes sense.
I'm into that. So I'm into the fact that they went all defense. I think you should have started with Isaiah Simmons. I just think I think there's a chance that in 3 years. So the way I try and think about this sometimes is like if you look at any redraft, there's always like a player who was looked at as like a sure thing, who was like gonna moderately affect a team, who goes higher than like a player who is like a dynamite player, who there's like a 5% chance won't be dynamite for some reason at the NFL level.
Yeah.
And then people like don't take him because like, but there's a 5% chance. And it's like down like 3 years from now, the redrafts are always like, oh, clearly if you went back in time, you would take this player. So it's like, I sort of wonder, not that this player was that thing, but I sort of wonder if this is going to look like taking Marcel Darius when like JJ Watt was available. You know?
Right.
Where it's like, it's a little bit more reasonable for the team that took Cam Newton, and a little bit more reasonable for the team that took Von Miller, and like even a little bit reasonable for the team that took Patrick Peterson, because they all had stretches of being like truly electric playmakers, and we saw flashes of that. Marcel Darius was never going to be an electric playmaker. He was going to be a very solid defensive tackle. And it's like, I think there's a chance that like that's what Derek Brown will be. I think Derek Brown is a little bit more electric to watch than Marcel Darius is.
Right.
But I still don't, I think like I just think Isaiah Simmons is probably a bigger difference maker. I think they somewhat made up for it a little bit by getting Jeremy Chin. I think he's sort of a mini Simmons. He's like not as good, but he like is like if in an ideal world, if he's coached correctly, will be used in a similar way, but just not to the extent that Isaiah Simmons is. Like Isaiah Simmons is a one of one. I don't think Jeremy Chin or any other player can do the things Isaiah Simmons can. Right. I think that's a real loss. That said, overall, I'm like pretty okay with their board. I like that they went all defense. Their offense was in pretty good shape, even with a bullshit carousel of quarterbacks. So like, yeah, I like that. I like Kenny Robinson, the safety from the XFL too. He's fun. I don't know if you've seen his highlights, but he's fun. I thought the overall okay. I'm just mad about that Simmons pick.
Yeah. I'm like, they got some good players, but like, I don't know. We'll see. They could be like the Giants in a year or two where it's like, oh, yeah, they drafted all those defensive guys and their defense is clearly a bunch of young guys because they're kind of bad sometimes, but kind of good sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, San Francisco 49ers. Javon Kinlaw. I had a big draft crush on Javon Kinlaw. I like it.
Did you change the thing on OBS?
Oh, no, I didn't. Let me. Oh, well, we're on a different team, but we're on the same. Oh, wait, is it not NFC West? Okay,
it's NFC South, baby.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I was just reading my thing down and going from Carolina Panthers. So we haven't recapped the NFC South yet. I say, I don't know.
I think Saints, man. I think
Saints.
Cesar Ruiz and Zach Bond will both be like plus starters at minimum.
Yeah. Like Saints 1, Bucs 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Panthers 3, Falcons 4.
Yeah, as a division, overall pretty solid drafts, but I think that's my order.
These are all like underwhelming to me. They're all like 6, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The only team I'm excited by their draft by is the Saints, and that's really saying something because they had 4 picks.
Well, the Saints always do this thing with Davenport a couple years ago. They're just like, we just need this one guy at this one position. Let's just make sure we get that guy, and then we're good. And it's like, okay, sweet, cool, you did.
They did it with Kamara too. They were like, ooh, he's still here. It's the 3rd round. Yeah, we'll trade up for him. Whatever.
Yeah,
we'll give you a second next year for him.
Yeah.